Right to a Fox News alert, at least 2 people have been killed by a suspected ISIS gunman inside a supermarket in southern France. A hostage situation unfolding right now as we learn a dozen more could be hurt. Join us with his reaction right now, the man who developed the CIA's interrogation program, Dr. James Mitchell. Dr. Mitchell, good morning to you. Apparently, the hostage taker is demanding the release of a prisoner. What does that tell you?
Well, it's a time for caution, really, because my concern about caving into those kinds of demands is that it rewards this kind of behavior, and you'll see a lot more hostage taking to try to get people released from prison, especially given that ISIS has been returning back to Europe and setting up networks and setting up cells as their fighters return home. So I think the authorities have to be very, very cautious about how they respond.
Guess who this guy is that he's requesting be released from custody? His name is Salal Abdeslam. He's the lone surviving member of the ISIS cell that was behind the deadly 2015 attacks in Paris, where 130 people died at a theater, the National Stadium, and those cafes.
Right. Absolute mistake to let that man go. And you know, another concern I think that authorities need to have is that this person isn't simply pretending to be negotiating in order to have more time to harm the hostages that he has. You know, it's unusual for ISIS to be negotiating by holding hostages, and we have seen times when these people who claim to be terrorists and inspired by Islam have actually just used the time to negotiate to kill more people, to find other people to target within the people that they're holding. So the authorities, I think, it's a fluid situation, and we don't know all the facts, and it's going to change before it gets better, but they need to be very, very cautious.
Doctor, we've seen a series of these attacks in France and throughout Europe. Has the situation in light of these attacks gotten better or worse? Are these societies responding properly, or is this problem metastasizing?
I think it's metastasizing. I think it's a worldwide insurgency, and it's hitting them worse than it is hitting us because we haven't let as many of these kind of unvetted people into our country. And so I think they have some work to do before they can make their streets safe. I think they've tolerated it for far too long. I think the French people, the German people, the British people, the Belgian people should push back against these immigrants who are coming there and attempting to destroy their own culture and establish, you know, an Islamic Salafist culture there.
Yeah, all right.
I think it's a mistake to tolerate that.
I think you're right. All right, Dr. James Mitchell joining us today with the breaking news out of France. Sir, thank you very much.
Doctor, thank you. Appreciate it. Certainly an expert.
Thank you for having me on.
Yep.